Flex your business with an American Express Business Gold Card. You'll earn 4 times membership rewards points on your top 2 eligible spending categories, like transit and electronics, each month, on up to $150K in combined purchases per year. Plus, you can now earn 3 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com. Terms and points cap apply. Learn more at AmericanExpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold, built for business by American Express.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day, dear listener, and welcome to yet again another Burgess Hill preview. Another Dockers debate show episode. I think we're on 92, Rob, now 93.
I think it's 93, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Are you counting the ones that we did that got rained off, or is it just the ones that went out?
Yeah. No, still those ones. Only because it's good for stats and everything like that. I'm thinking of maybe episode 100.
You're not stat padding the episodes, are you?
Absolutely. I think for episode 100 we could do a review of something like Escape to Victory or something like that. But anyway, so as I said, we are on for today's call with Colin, the sombrero. We didn't realise he had a sombrero on. The sombrero wearing Burgess Hill fan, the Hillian from Burgess Hill. Colin, how are we, mate?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me back on again. I really enjoy these podcasts. I think you guys are doing a fantastic job.
At least someone is.
Yeah, ole. There is a story behind that hat, it has to be said, which I might bore you with a bit later.
There had to be, really, let's face it.
It's not just normal attire, surely. You don't think?
No.
What's your wife's name, Colin?
Jan,
I'm just nipping down the shop. Have you got your sombrero, Colin? Oh, no, I haven't.
She's standing right behind me.
Okay. in a sombrero.
Yeah, or sombrerette.
Well, do you know what? Since we were last on, you've obviously, unfortunately for us, beat Erith Town. But you're right up there now, aren't you? You know, 2 games in hand in Margate on 4th. You've now leapfrogged them in 3rd. You're a game in hand on the top spot. Yes, okay, right. They might be a few points clear to say the least, but Burgess Hill Town, 3rd place, looking good.
Yeah, we're starting to do things that I've been following these guys for a dozen years. The first season they went up, so I was really spoiled. They went up from the Ryman Division South to the Premier in the very first season, so I was spoiled rotten. And then they had about 4 seasons in the Premier League, but in the last 2 or 3 seasons we haven't been on a brilliant path, if I'm honest with you. And now we're doing things that I've been calling out, and that's winning on the road and keeping clean sheets on a semi-regular basis. And you do that on quite a few occasions, you start motoring up the table, and that's what's happened in the last 5 or 6 weeks.
I mean, we said it last year when we played you in the cup. We think you're a good side. You've got a good setup there. I mean, you did okay in the league last year as well. And, we had Mark on recently to discuss Sittingbourne, and we've had Darius on talking about Ramsgate. Obviously, people look at Margate. But, there's a little bit of me, when you see or hear these teams who, if you look at the pro game, sort of just keep going about their business, and not many people know they're there. Rob, we said it last season with Glebe, didn't we? In Skeffeld, a lot of people were focusing on Dill, Faversham, some even focused on Erith when Erith snuck in. But teams like Glebe last year in Skeffeld and teams like Burgess Hill, they're sneaking under that radar, and not many people's paying them attention. They could come in and bloody some noses.
Yeah, I think you're in very definite whisper it quietly territory here. Because looking at the form guide, your form is the same currently as Sittingbourne's. You've won 5 and drawn 1 of your last 6. You're only a couple of points behind them in terms of the league. So, you've got to be looking to, at the very least, it's between you and them sort of fighting up for that 2nd and 3rd spot. Could even go up to 2nd. Because Sittingbourne, they've got to hit a sticky, you'd say they've got to hit a sticky patch sooner or later, but you're very definitely in the playoff places. I can't see you dropping out of that.
No, and that's the thing as well. It's yeah, okay, fine, fair play. You can say, you might have lost 1 more than Margate and, a couple more than Sittingbourne, Ramsgate, but like you compared to those teams in the playoffs, you've won a lot of games. There's not many draws in your column compared to those other teams, which suggests you're consistent. And when we saw Burgess Hill the other day, I'm not sure if we covered it on the pod, but Rob and I were saying that they remind us very much of Dill last season and Dill this year, obviously in eighth place. That you're just a well organised team. You might not have the glamour and the names and the sort of flair of the Ramsgates and the Sittingbournes who have scored like 86 goals in 26 games or anything like that, but you're a good, well organised side, aren't you?
Yeah, we definitely are. And if you think back to sunnier climes and more sunny positions, on the very first day of the season, we went to Sevenoaks and we lost a narrow. It's 3-1. I know it doesn't sound narrow, but we lost the very first game of the season, which knocked us off the six for a little bit. We were all very disappointed in that particular result. So had we not done that, things would have been a bit more rosy. But I definitely take your point. We have been keeping quite a few clean sheets this year and been winning games quite narrow. When we came to Erith that night, that was a case in point. We'll talk about that game in a minute if we may. But we are doing it by working really hard at the back. I actually spoke to Marcus Allen on Tuesday night after a 2-0 home win, and he's saying that they're taking the players, every single one of them, are taking great pride in keeping a clean sheet. And as we all know, the boring cliche is, you keep a clean sheet, you can't lose football matches. So
no, you're right. You're right, and do you know what? It's kind of fun. You say that. Sorry to cut you off, and we'll talk about the Erith game in a sec. But Rob, like I'm looking at the league table now as we do. Burgess Hill only conceded the 29 and 25. That's not so bad. And we said, didn't we? And Colin, we'll get you back into this thought with the Erith game that it will probably be tight. The Erith Town game, it will probably be like by a fine margin here or there how we lose this game. But I mean, if you look, Rob, if Erith stats, it's really frustrating because from ninth, Sevenoaks, all the way down till I think it's the bottom of the table. Let me just move this out of the way. So from ninth all the way down to the bottom of the table, every team's goal difference is in minus. The only one who's not is Erith Town in 11th on 15. Erith have got a better goal difference than Beckenham in 5th. They're only a few behind. Sheppey in 6th, Beckenham in 5th. They're only a few behind Margate, a few behind Burgess Hill. Colin, I think in that game it just showed, like you say, the games are tight, but you guys know where the back of the net is and keep the clean sheets because you managed to keep teams like Erith out, and Erith, as you see there, are very good defensively.
Yeah, on that particular night, and fair play to you guys. We really, like I probably alluded to before the game, not many of us could make it that night, which was a real shame. But for whatever reason, people were just finding that particular evening quite tough to get to. So there was only 3 of us behind the goal. Have you noticed? We made a bit of racket in the second half.
We noticed the hat.
Pardon?
We noticed the hat.
The hat was noisy enough on its own.
Right, yeah. Well, normally would have been about maybe, I don't know, 20 of us, 20, 25 midweek away there. But there was only just the 3 of us. But the game itself felt like a real battle. I mean, you guys are very physical. You never stop running. And you gave us a really good game that night. And on another night, you could have easily escaped with a draw because in the last 10 minutes, you were just bombarding our box and we had to put bodies on the line. And it was a hard match. And every single one of those players was knackered, I'm telling you now.
Doesn't make it feel any better, though.
It doesn't make any feel you. It probably feels a bit of a loss to you. Yeah, I know it feels a loss to you.
That's
guys.
The most gold-plated wooden spoon I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I mean, like since then you've had a great run. You've gone away, back down. I mean, we was talking to Trevor Nell a little while ago on his podcast, and we were saying about the main difference between Skeffel and the Isthmian, and for us, one of the main, if not the main, is the travel. Yeah. It's long old schlocks wherever you're going. But if you look in the space of a week, Colin, we moaned, didn't we, Rob, the other week when we done Margate on a Saturday and then Ramsgate on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. But in the space of a week, 7 days, Burgess Hill went away to Erith Town, then away to Phoenix, then away to Sheppey United within 7 days and picked up 7 points from 9. I'll be honest with you, if you didn't have two juggernauts, that's championship winning form.
Well, thank you very much for recognising that. Yes, we did do that. I've actually written a piece about those away matches in the programme tomorrow. If you were to pick up a programme, I've written a piece about that, about our away experiences. This isn't something that happens to us on a regular basis where we go away.
Cheers, thanks, even better, Colin.
I think it's 5 away games on the trot.
Yeah, then Broadbridge Heath, Burgess. You won at home against Herne Bay, away at Broadbridge Heath, away at Sheppey, you drew away at Sheppey, away at Phoenix. Yeah, so yeah, you're unbeaten away. You're unbeaten all in January.
That's right, and we'll hopefully get that manager's award.
Let's hope you get that kiss of death manager of the month.
Yeah, I know that
tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, that does generally happen, doesn't it? It's like the goalkeeper. You get the goalkeeper's gloves, and
you let him 5.
And it happened. It happened at your gaff, unfortunately. Slav got the December goal of the month, and unfortunately, he gave it straight to your striker. If you remember. Yeah,
I remember that. But I mean, Rob, you're the stats man more than me. You've only got to look in awe at some of these. Going somewhere like Sheppey is such a hard place to go on a Tuesday and getting a draw, and then when you win the rest of your games, going away at Dill, winning, going away at Erith, winning, away at Phoenix, who are absolutely fighting for their life and a bit of resurgence, winning.
And also, everyone seems to forget that these are not full-time players. These are players who've got jobs and got other things to do, and to knock off early, get onto a coach, schlep all the way down to like Herne Bay or Sheppey or whatever, after having done a day, and then put in a shift, get the win, or in the case of Sheppey, get the draw, but get the point, and then take them all the way back home again, and then try and recover in time for the next. So this is not easy. This is not an easy way to earn a living, but by any manner of means.
No, and you said a little while ago, and Trevor Nell said as well that there seems to be like a sort of a top group in the Isthmian, everyone else, and then the bottom of the division. When we were looking last season after the promotion to teams who just pretty much seemed like a cut above, you can put Burgess Hill in that category.
It's taken a lot of hard work to get to that position. I think I alluded to it last time we were on. This isn't something which has just happened as a fluke. That the whole club has been galvanised by certain things that have happened at the top, and everybody's bought into it. And at every level, if you like, the activity and the passion and the energy stepped up amazingly. Even down to, I'm going to just give you a for instance, even down to we found at the ground that there's a little bit of land which is suddenly ours. It's in the lease we didn't quite know about. We suddenly realised that this bit of ground, it could be useful at some stage. I mean, we're not going to do anything with it this season, but the volunteers and some of the Alliance, which is our fans club, have got together and they've got in there and started taking brambles out and stuff like that. I mean, it's just sort of things like that. It's the club's just pushing in the right direction, and like I say, it hasn't been a fluke. It's down to a lot of hard work from a lot of people.
And that's good to hear, because ultimately that's what non-league football is all about. It's everyone pitching in and making sure that they can get the games on and they make the most of the limited resources that we've got. I was just looking past the game with the Dockers on Saturday, and it must be nice to be in a situation where all of the upcoming fixtures, pretty much, you're looking down the table rather than up. It must give you some confidence going into those fixtures, because if you look at what you've got next, you've got Beckenham, who've kind of, okay, they're probably your closest to you sort of coming up, but you've got East Grinstead, you've got Eastbourne, you've got Merstham, you've got Croydon. None of these teams are teams that are going to put fear into you at all.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you, 100%. If I can just expand a little bit on that whole scenario, I interviewed, you may have not have seen, I interviewed one of our joint managers, Gary Mansell, after Tuesday, and he said at the end of the interview, they're just ticking it off. And the cliche again, they're just looking at one match at the time. So, from a management player's point of view, even though they're excited of the position they're in, they are not looking any further than you guys at the moment. And I think that's going to carry on. I think they're just going to continue ticking these games off and see where it takes them. The playoffs or title push hasn't even been mentioned in those circles. However, from a fan's point of view, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
We're all looking at those next 6 or 7 games and rubbing our hands together.
Yeah.
Not Saturday. We all know tomorrow is going to be a really tough one, but after that, we are rubbing our hands together. And if we can go into March the 1st unbeaten in February, I think we'll be looking pretty bloody good.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, it's like, I've got the little ping to say we've not got that overly long left, so we'll start on the sort of victory lap, if you will, of the pod. But do you think that, I know it sounds as silly as it does now, but do you think that the way the Erith game went a couple of weeks ago will have changed the outlook on how you prepare for tomorrow's game? I know you said you're going to only take it one game at a time, but sometimes when you're at home or sometimes when you're like on a bit of a crest of a wave, you might think, right, yeah, we'll go into this, we'll prepare this, we'll do this, we'll do this. But then you actually think, well, actually, a couple of weeks ago, Harry Taylor didn't have to give up our torrid time, and we really struggled against their back line. Do you think you might go into tomorrow's game a bit differently?
No, there won't be any difference whatsoever. There may be a couple of different personnel because we've got quite a robust squad at the moment, so they are rotating. It all depends who they pick, but the actual way they set up to play will be looking out to maintain very clear lines at the back with Slav doing what he does. And then we've got really good strikers that could hurt you. Both Gary and Marcus both said that this could be a real battle on Saturday, and we've all got to gird our loins. It might not be pretty. So there you go. Battle lines drawn, I think.
So just wrapping this up then. So what do you think? What's your prediction? Are you looking to? Do you think you'll get another win, or do you think it'll be a tougher game now that we've played you the once? We gave you a good go,
and we had a perfectly good goal disallowed.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you think? Are you still confident you'll get the win, or do you think it'll be a different result?
Oh, it's a tough one. None of us are blindly going into tomorrow thinking this is a home banker. We're so far away from that feeling at the moment. We're all a bit in trepidation, if I'm honest. I'm going to say, right, if we can keep it to 0-0 for large chunks of that game, and then just build for the last few minutes and see what happens. I'd take 0-0 right now.
Wow, really? A home team in your form? With all due respect, a home team in your form. I mean,
against
if I was
you lot, yeah.
Oh, no pressure, Woody, eh, Rob?
Well, to be fair, I mean, you look at the form guide, look at the results. You do let goals in. I mean, you're winning more than you're losing for sure, but you do let goals in. So there's always going to be an opportunity, and I think with our front line and if we play, I mean, the way we played against Ramsgate, we were fantastic until the 93rd minute. We're absolutely
unlucky boys. I saw that.
We had 3 or 4 clear through one-on-one kind of like opportunities, just didn't put them away. But if we can play like that, we'll give you a real torrid time, I think. So. And you're not winning every game by 0. So I think there is an opportunity for us to score, and if we can take it, we can take it, and I think we can give you a harder game. So my personal prediction is that I think we'll reverse the result from last time, and it'll be in Erith Town 2-1.
Yeah.
Well, my Erith Town 6-0's got to come in eventually. No,
not tomorrow.
Do you know what I'm going to go for? I'm going to go for a 1-0. Erith will score halfway through the first half and just defend for their lives.
Right.
I think that's what that's going to be. So it will be like, in Troy and Gladiator and 300, we'll have Woody in his pants like Gerard Butler in 300, and he's just got his pants and cape on, saying that this is Sparta and this is Erith and all that. So there we are. Yeah, we are.
I feel a bit of Photoshop work coming on there.
Yeah, I like that. You can wear it tomorrow instead of the sombrero.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you wear that with the sombrero if we win? Rob, you can wear that with the sombrero if we win.
The sombrero won't be coming out tomorrow. It's more of a midweek away hat.
No, there we are. So go on, quick story on the sombrero. Why do we wear it?
Well, Tooting and Mitcham, that's 7 or 8 years ago. For some reason, I wore it, and we won 2-1, and then we didn't win another midweek away game for about 4 or 5 seasons. It's just in the record book. It's just, so I got fed up and I thought, what the hell happened on the last one? Sombrero. I wore it to one game and we won. So it comes out every time now. We have
don't worry about the certain sort of normal pair of socks you had or the normal black t-shirt. It was definitely the sombrero, wasn't it?
Sombrero.
Yeah. Cool.
And it has to be worn all day.
Yeah. Well, Colin, as always, thank you for your time. For the 50th time you've been on the pod.
Yeah.
We've done 92 shows. Colin, one way or another, has been on 60 of them. But no, but thank you very much, Colin, for your time as always. Say hi to Jan for us.
She's here. She's listening.
Good luck tomorrow. Is she a fan? Can we get Jan on quickly? Come on, Jan.
Yeah, come on. No, she's saying no. Come on, Jan.
Come on, Jan.
Just say hello.
Hello.
Oh,
Hi,
well,
Jan.
there we are. That's enough. That's more than some of our backline talk. So thanks, Jan.
Yeah, Jan's not a big Burgess Hill Town fan.
No, absolutely.
Burgess Hill Town.
Just one thing to say. I hope you guys really enjoy coming down tomorrow. Make sure you get yourself to back of the net and try out one of the smash burgers.
I got my eye on a bit of pie and mash, Colin.
Oh, even pie and mash. Yes.
Yeah, well, look at that.
Okay, enjoy that.
We will do, and good luck tomorrow. And as always, dear listeners of this podcast, up the Dockers.
Up the Dockers.
Up the Hillian.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.